Stop scrolling for a second. Would you believe this stylish top was made from a very simple pattern block? No complicated sleeve setting and no stressful drafting. In this video, I'll show you how to make this elegant Dolman sleeve step by step from cutting to finishing, and the best part, it's beginner friendly. I have my crepe fabric here. I have about 3 yards, but I'll be using 1.5 to 2 yards for the crepe. And also I have my lining. I have about 1.5 and I will be lining the top. So I also have my scissors, I have my ruler, my toolbox, and also I have my tape roll. So I'm going to be marking my measurement, that is my vertical measurement, my shoulder to my bust point, which is 11 inches, and I'm just marking it out just like this. Then my shoulder to my waist, which I used about 18 inches, and also the blouse length, which I used about 25 inches. So your blouse length can be any length that you desire. Then I'm going to roll across the measurement just like this. So that is my measurement, as you can see. So I'm going to be marking half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7, and I'm going to be adding 8 inches for my sleeve. So you can add whatever sleeve length that you want, but I'm using 8 inches for mine. Then I'm going to be using 3 inches for my neck width and 1.5 for my neck depth. This is for the back neckline, and I'm going to curve it with the curve like that. Then I'm going to be coming down by 1.5 inches at that sleeve ending to connect to my shoulder point, just as you can see. Then I'm going to be marking quarter of my bust measurement. Then I'm going to be adding an ease of 1 inch. Also on my waist, quarter of my waist measurement plus 1 inch ease, and repeat that on my blouse length, quarter of my hip measurement plus 1 inch for ease. Then I'm going to be connecting the sides just like this. So I'm blending the waist because the waist is not sharp. Then I'm going to be adding 1 inch for sewing allowance. That is what I'm adding at the side, 1 inch for my sewing allowance. Then I'm going to be connecting with my curve ruler, just as you can see. Then I'm also going to blend that waist part also. So this is me just showing that is my sewing allowance. Then I came down by 9 inches, but ended up using my bust point as my sleeve opening. So I'm just rolling a straight line down. Then I'm also going to come out by 1.1 inches. I'm going to come out by 1 inch to get that my beautiful Dolman sleeve curve. Then I'm also going to come down at that point by 1.5 so that I can get that curve under my armpit, just as you can see. Then I connected it with my curve ruler just like this. Then after doing that, this is me just showing you what I did and how many inches that I came down by. Then at that point there, at the hem, that is the blouse, make sure you have up to about 2 inches. I didn't have, so I attached another pattern paper under to make up to 2 inches. Then I curved it just like this to get that beautiful hem curve. Then just cut it out. So this is the front pattern. I came out by 1 inch for my button allowance. Just come out by 1 inches for your button allowance. Then I have my shoulder to my bust line, then shoulder to my waist, and shoulder to the blouse length. And I also have an extension. Then in the course of the tutorial, you will see why that extension was added. Then on my starting line, I marked half of my shoulder measurement plus 8 inches for my sleeve length, just like we did at the back pattern. So for the neckline, I'm going to be coming in by 3 inches. I'm just repeating what I did for the back pattern. Then I'm going to be marking quarter of my bust measurement plus 1 inch for ease, just as you can see. Then I'm going to repeat that my waist, quarter of my waist measurement, plus 1 inch for ease also. I'm going to put that down. Then on my blouse length, I'm going to mark quarter of my hip measurement plus 1 inch for ease. This is me just repeating what I did for the back pattern. So this is me curving it out here with my curve ruler. So I kind of made a mistake here, and you will see that. So that was not actually my sewing allowance, that was supposed to be my ease. So I ended up adding 1 inch again for my sewing allowance. So this 1 inch I'm marking now is the actual sewing allowance. So disregard the first one that I marked as my sewing allowance. That is actually my ease, and this now is my sewing allowance. Hope we are clear. Sorry for that mistake. So this is for my shoulder slope. I stick him down by 1.5, just like we did for the back. I'm going to be marking that 1.5 and connecting it straight up to the shoulder, just as you can see. Then after that, I'm going to mark my sleeve opening, and remember I used my bust point for that. Then I'm still going to come out by 1 inch to get that curvy Dolman sleeve, just as you can see. I've curved that. Then come down by 1.5, just as I did for the back, and I'm going to also connect it with my curve ruler. So I'm going to be coming down by 6 inches on that extension part. You can come down by whatever inches you want for the length. Then I'm going to be going in by 2 inches. That is for that opening you can see at the hem part. Then on the waistline, I'm going to be coming down by 0.5 inches. So it depends on you. You can come down by 1, you can come down by 1.5, but I will be coming down by 0.5 inches for mine. So after coming down by 0.5, I'm going to be extending the line outwards into the button allowance. Then I'm going to be connecting that extension to that 2 inches which came out. Then I'm going to be rolling my line across, just like this. So you will notice that the extension, that part I'm marking XXX, those parts are not needed. I'm going to be taking off that part that is cutting it off. So this is just me trying to highlight it more. I'm going to be connecting that extension straight up to that 2 inches. So this is it, and this is me marking the 2 inches. I'm going to be connecting it like this with a curve to get that curvy part. Then at the neckline, I'm going to be coming in by 3 inches like I said. Then I'm going to be coming down by 9.5 or 10 inches. So actually I used 10 inches for my neckline. For mine, you see that for the depth here, I used 10 inches. You can always use 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches, 9.5, depending on how modest or how open you want your cleavages to be. So you can see that I used 10 for mine. So the one on my channel, that there's a blue one just like this that has dots too. I'm going to link that now. So that one I used for the neckline. I used my bust. My bust is 11, so I just came up for my bust by 0.5 inches. So if you want yours deeper, you can also still this your bust, you can still go down by maybe 0.5, depending on your cleavages, depending on how you want it to be. So this is mine now. Then I'm going to just extend it like this out. So I'm going to be connecting from here, all from this part. I'm going to be connecting it from this part all the way to the neck line, that is the neck width, just as you can see. So this is just it. You can actually just cut it out if you just want it like this. So but because of the neckline is deep, you can, if you notice that one that I made before, you notice that there was a bit gaping. So if you do not want that gaping, so I'm just going to be marking a dart. So I'm going to be making a dart here. So I'm just going to be rolling a straight line, just as you can see. Then I'm going to be coming out by 0.25 for my dart legs. Then I'm going to connect it just like drawing a normal dart. So this is highly optional. You can choose to do this, and you can choose to just cut the pattern without adding the darts. So just look at where I'm cutting and cut exactly just as I'm cutting. Then I'm going to be opening this line. Now watch the line that I'm opening. So I'm going to be lifting this on top of this, just like this. I'm going to be lifting it onto the remaining 0.25. I don't know if you understand. So I opened that part I told you about. Then I lifted the pattern past that middle line, that is the line to get your dart legs. Then I placed it on top the second dart leg. You understand? So this is it here. So I'm going to use my tape. So I'm going to use my masking tape to gum it so that it will stay in place. Just as you can see. So now if you notice, that the lines are no longer equal. So I'm going to use my ruler to adjust the line. I have adjusted it. Then I'm going to cut out the neckline. This is it. Then I'm going to cut out this part. That's 2 inches. This is the front. So this is just me cutting out my back pattern. So if you had cut yours when I said you should cut it earlier, it's totally fine. So please, if you haven't liked this video, kindly like the video, subscribe, turn on your post notification to be notified anytime we post a new video. Thank you. So that is my back pattern, and this is my front pattern I have introduced. So I'm just going to be placing both of them together so that you can see that it is equal at the side. So if you check the sides, you will notice that it is equal. So I'm just flipping it to the back so that we can see it clearly. So that's just it. And if there's any part that is not aligned properly, maybe by the sleeves or by the side, maybe one side is slightly bigger than one side, you're permitted to just trim it out a bit. So I have pinned them down and I'm showing you now. You can see that the sides are equal and all parts are equal. So if yours isn't equal, you are permitted to always readjust it. Now let's sew. So this is the back pattern. I have added my 0.5 inch on the neck, the shoulder, the sleeve, excluding the side because we added that in the drafting. I also added 0.5 at the bottom, and you can see that the back is on a fold. And this is the front pattern. You can see at the bottom side is opened, and I have added 0.5 inches all round, excluding the sides. I added on the bottom too. So this is the belt, and the height is 4 inches when it's not on fold, and when it's on fold it is 2 inches. And for the length, it's about 33 inches. So you can use from 33 to 36 or 7 depending on your body size, and that is 2 pieces. So this is the back pattern, and it's on a fold, and this is the front pattern also. I added that piece there because my fabric was not enough. And please, when doing this, use a matching lining. So I'm using a lining for this, a full lining. I had a lining that I had used, so the remaining one, that was what I'm using to recreate this. So if you don't have a lining, you don't need to beat yourself much. So you just need to get facing. You can still use this material that you use for your main fabric to do your facing. You know how to cut your normal facing, so just cut the facing for this neckline. Then at this part, because you would want this side to be very neat, you want the finishing here to be neat, so you're going to also cut a facing for this part. So you can put another fabric here, you can put another fabric around this side, and you just cut a facing around here for the front. So it might be the front that you might be having issues with for the facing. So what you're going to do is that you can just measure out maybe 2.5 inches or 3 inches for the width. Depends on the width of the facing you want to do, maybe 2.5 or 3 inches. Then you cut it, you trace it just like this, just as you can see my hand. You just trace the facing, all the way. When you get to this particular point here, you can just take it out like this, because we are focusing on this button blanket here, this button hole allowance here, and also this part here. So that's why this part must be neatly finished, and this side must be neatly finished. So but if you have a lining, you can also use your lining. So in the one that I made that is on my video, I didn't use a lining, I used a facing. But if you still need explanation on that facing, please just send me the comments and I would explain that to you. So this is the right side of the fabric and this is the right side of the lining. I'm going to be joining both of them together, right side facing right side, just as you can see. Then I'm going to pin it all round, just as you can see, as I indicated. Then after pinning it, I'm going to be coming up by the 0.5 inches we're going to be using to turn the fabric. So I'm going to be doing this at the bottom, at the sleeve sides, at the side, at the neck, excluding the shoulder. So I have removed my front pattern now, and I'm going to be repeating exactly what I did for the back. So this is just me differentiating the back and the front, and so this is the good part. I'm joining it right side facing right side. Then I'm going to use 0.5 inches to stitch, just as you can see as I indicated. Just watch where I am pointing, that is where I'm going to be stitching. So I'm going to be doing that for the two front parts, and this is it. So after doing that, I'm going to be trimming off the excesses at that part. Then after trimming it, I'm going to be giving it a good notch so that it can relax well. So just do exactly as I have said, or what I am doing right now. So after trimming it, this is what I have. It's less bulky, so I just did notches, especially at the curvy part. I did that for all the pieces, the front and also the back. So this is what it looks like, the front. After I have done that, turned it and ironed it, this is also the back. Give it a very good iron press. Do that for the belt also. Using 0.5 inches to stitch the shoulders, and at the side you can either use 0.5, 0.75 or 1 inches to join your side. So me, I use 0.75. Then at the shoulder, you can either do a French seam or you just stitch it, then you further go to weave it. So that is what I am doing for mine. This is the final result. I'm going to be putting my buttons, so I'm just showing you the spacings that I'm using. So in case you need spacings for your button, kindly send a comment and I will reply that. So I'm just adding my buttons. I'm arranging it well. For a female shirt, buttons are usually sewn on the left side and the buttonholes on the right side. So just try and indicate yours and do the same. So I'm going to take it to the market so that they can do my button holes, and I'm going to attach my buttons, give it a good iron press. And that is it for this tutorial. I hope you found this tutorial helpful and easy to follow. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification so you don't miss future sewing tutorial. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video.